Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Monkey Wrench. I'm Kelly, the monkey with the wrench. It is officially fall here in Florida. It's still 87 degrees and hot in the sun, but the grass has stopped growing. To give you an example, I have not cut the grass here in over a month, and it doesn't even need to be cut. So while I am still working on machines, and I'm about to make this video, it slows down. And this is the time when, in the winter time, every other year I do woodworking. I build dog houses and custom butcher block countertops and whatnot. And then in the opposite years I do boats, and then, you know, it just depends. I go with the flow. And since there haven't been much in the way of boats, especially that I could film, I did have a few boat things to do, but they were sort of rush jobs, so I didn't get to film them. Right now, we're going to be doing some alternate videos. And today's video is going to be on bikes. As you see, that's the one we found in the trash. That's a used bike that I bought from my scrapping buddy the other day for $10. And the reason is I needed the rims, 26-inch rims. And of course, my original e-bike is there, and what's left of it just a frame because I built a new one. But today we're going to be working on this bed frame. I know it sounds weird, but trust me, it'll make sense shortly. Let's see if we can get in the frame here. This is one of those, it's a steel bed frame, but it's very light. It might weigh, this is half, and this is a single size. But I'd say it probably weighs about 10, maybe 11 pounds. And it folds up. The other half would have folded up, and it had legs that folded up. And these are what they call platform beds. And they're getting popular because people don't want to spend the money on box springs, which I understand. A support system for a mattress that costs money, that collects dirt, and it just looks disgusting, and there's no reason for it. However, I have had this in my RV. I built with regular bed frame, regular angle iron bed frame. I built an actual frame, a square box with legs on it. And then I used this, and I thought, hey, this will be perfect. Well, the problem with this is that my 230-pound, fat ass, was too much for this bed frame. After, I think it's been close to 2 years, it started getting very uncomfortable. And what happened was the center of the mattress, I thought, had sagged out, but it wasn't. Looking at the frame is bowed. Okay, it goes like this. It's got a dip in the center now. And so what was happening was, in the center of the mattress, my head was higher, my feet were higher. It was like being in a hammock, and it was giving me serious lower back problems. So the other day I went and bought 2x4s, and I cut those into slats so that it was 1.5 inches thick. It's only 38 inches wide, which I'm fine with. And now I have a good solid platform, and I welded the steel platform together. But I have this. Now, if you watched my channel before, you'll know that a couple of years ago I built a trailer as well. I reuse steel, anything I can get my hands on, because A, I got to get better at welding, and B, it's very useful. Now, I haven't used my trailer in a while, but there's my trailer made out of yet another bed platform, and it needs to be sanded down and painted. Believe me, it's still in perfect shape, and it works well, but I don't have much use for it right now. Haven't had in a while. But I've got this extra bed frame now, and I had to cut it to length so it would fit inside the RV. That's why it's in 2 pieces and the legs are off. Didn't need any of that stuff. And I thought, you know what? What can I use it for? What do I absolutely need that's going to cost me hundreds of dollars that I use every single day, that I can use it for? It's small, it's strong, it's lightweight, it's perfect. You see, I built this rack for the back of my old bike. Believe it or not, those are lawnmower handles. That's the steel off of lawnmower handles, just like that I cut, shaped, and welded together and made a rack on the back of that bike. Well, now I have this bike, and looking into racks, I've got this little basket on the front, which is basically a piece of garbage, but it was 15 bucks at Walmart, and I've already got it zip tied because it's falling apart, and blah blah blah. And on the back I have this chintzy rack that I got for 5 bucks at Walmart and had to modify, put a leg on it, put a platform on the back. So what I wanted to do was something that was more solid, like the one that I built for Ellie, my first bike, which is all steel, welded, and welded to the frame. And I've actually sat my 230-pound behind in that and had somebody ride me around. That's how strong that is. But it's thicker than I want it, okay? It's way too beefy for what I use it for, what I need it for. And the extra weight is just not something you want to put on an electric bike. So if this isn't the kind of video you're looking for, I can appreciate that. We'll see you on the next video, the next repair video. And I've already got a few uploaded, so there's mowers to be fixed. If you are here, be aware that down in the description I have a PayPal fundraiser going on right now. I'm having transportation issues. You'll see future videos throughout the winter time on what I'm doing, how I'm rebuilding things. But I need a second e-bike. I ride my bike full time, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. I have 25,000 miles on my current bike. It's having issues, even though it has a new frame. So I have a PayPal fundraiser going on. If you'd like to support me in this channel, look down. It'll be the pinned comment. It'll also be in the description of the video. Click on it. Give me as little as $1, as much as you want. Thank you so much for those of you that have already donated to my fundraiser. It is going for a new e-bike, and I will be doing an unboxing and review on that when it happens. I'm buying it regardless, but any help that I get from you guys will help take the strain off my own wallet. But you see, this was the rim that was on my hub motor already, and it just got old after 25,000 miles, and it broke and split in half and caused me some issues. So that other bike that I told you I bought from my friend, I needed the rims. I've already taken the spokes and the hub out of this, and what I'm gonna do now is I have to buy new 70 millimeter spokes, and it's like 15 bucks, and then I can put the old motor in the new rim, and I'll explain that on that video. So anyway, I appreciate it. Subscribe if you made it this far. The talking portion of this video is over. Let's get to the build section. Now, I already filmed some of this, but I lost the footage, so you're gonna have to start with me where we are. Okay, basically this is what I've got so far. As you see here, this is some of the piece. Let's go back outside and I'll show you what I mean. You can see how that's made up. Here's the piece that's in my hand, and that's the kind of thing it was. So what I did was first decide on the size I wanted. I liked the width on that one on my old bike. I wanted the length to be a little better, and I learned the hard way. When you put the rack on the back, if it's too close to the seat and the back of the rack is right up against the back of the seat, you're only about that much of your butt cheeks is on the seat, and it's very uncomfortable. So on this rack, this used to be a complete rack, just like the bottom. It had a front, and I ended up having to take that, which was there, and cut it there and there and take that off so that my box could still fit in there and my butt could fit on the seat. So this time I've done the measuring. You can see right here, that there has to be a space between the box itself and my butt. But because I'm doing a different style, I don't want it to clamp on the seat post. I never liked that. It's going to get bolted on here. I came up with measurements, and the measurements are 18 by 22. So this was a bed frame just like that. You can see the silvery parts. That's where I've welded and cleaned up the welds so that I had the proper rack here for what I want. So what's going to happen, hopefully you can see, yeah, what's going to happen here is that this rack is going to go about that close underneath of the seat. The reason for that is because I have a controller here and my battery, and that's going to sit here on this platform. Okay, and you see how far out the back it goes. And then the top portion is smaller. Okay, it's only 14 inches deep, and you see it goes right around my milk crate, which I like. I also have a proper trunk that I use, and that will fit in here as well. That's got a top watertight lid on it. I can lock it the whole 9 yards. So whichever way I decide to go at any given time, I can use a milk crate or I can use my trunk. This is going to go like so. It's going to get bolted. I'm going to have to weld some steel up here to bolt on there. Then obviously I'm going to put some legs on it that go down to the frame. And then this section is going to be like here, leaving the box back far enough for my butt to fit on there and still have space under there to put my controller and my battery and keep that hidden. So what you're going to see is a little bit of me putting this box together. So again, the total height on this is going to be 7 inches. That's what I have outside on the old one. It works well. I don't have to strap in my trunk. I don't have to strap in my milk crate. I can just swap those out and they don't fall out or anything. So this is going to be 7 inches tall total. So what I have to do now is cut some uprights, clean them up, tack them in place, make sure everything is square, so that I can put this top ring around there, and we're going to go from there. So I'm going to show you that. By the way, these racks, built custom, are $200 each, and I'm doing a front and a back. And to just buy them off of a bike shop or online, they're over $100 just for one that might fit, and you'll probably have to modify it anyway. So taking a used bed frame with a $50 used welder and doing a little fabrication and painting it when you're done will literally save you hundreds of dollars, and that's what I like to do on this channel. Okay, a couple of things. One, you should be wearing gloves, and I literally have gloves, and they are right here, but I've never been a glove kind of person. I'm 50. I've never been a glove kind of person. You can see these are covered in dust and sawdust and crap. So don't do what I do, do what I say. Second, you should be wearing safety glasses. I don't do that either. In all my years, I've literally had one issue where I wish I had a pair of safety glasses. I got a little bit of steel in my eye. But, you know, I'm stupid and hard-headed. I see all the time, including my friends. I go to my friends' houses with my welder to help them fix their trailers and whatever else needs to be done. And even my buddy Jim, who knows better, still does not take the time to clean the joints where you're going to be welding. So if you can see that, what I did was I cleaned completely both ends. You have to have clean joints when you're welding, otherwise the weld won't take. There'll be a lot of spittering and spattering of crap, and it'll be very weak, and you'll wonder why your crap falls apart. So make sure you clean everywhere you're going to weld. Straighten it out the best that you can. I have a pretty straight eye. That's how I do it. I need 4 of these. And again, I'm going to be painting this whole thing, so I will eventually take the rest of the paint off so that I can prime it and paint it. But I'm just taking care of the welded points now. So off camera, I'm going to do 3 more of these. These are 5 inches because this is 1-inch square tubing. So by the time it goes together like that, and I'll clean the welding area here as well, it'll be 7 inches tall, exactly what I want it to be. So I'm going to do that off camera and I'll bring you back. Alright, there's my 4 uprights. Easy peasy, all 4 are cleaned. And where I took those cross wires off, that's going to be a welded on there, so you're going to have to take your grinder and grind that flat. Be sure you don't grind too much. Just work on the little weld exposed, the bit that's sticking up, because if you work on it and you go far, you'll end up taking the wall of the actual tubing away, and you could grind a hole in it. So all 4 of them are cleaned up, good enough to weld. They're all the same size, and what's going to happen first, I'll show you what it's going to look like. So obviously it's not going to be welded together. That's if they'll even stay up there. Here, you know what I can do? I can do like this. If you don't have a magnet, get yourself a magnet. Do it like that. Now I've got 3 or 4 of those laying around here somewhere, but I don't know where they are because I hardly ever use more than 1. But the point is that I'm going to be checking and doing something along those lines. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is measure exactly where I want this, exactly where I want my uprights, and I'm going to do 4 just like so. See if I can show you that from the side. Alright, there's 1, there's 1. Then there'll be 1 over there and 1 over here, and that will be the rough shape of said bike rack. And then eventually, if you watch my channel, you know that I like to take pallet wood and clean it up and sand it up, make it look real good. And what I will eventually do is put a wood bottom on there that matches. But let me go ahead and measure out these uprights and we'll start tacking those in place. Okay, I took a little bit of a break and now I'm back out here. The phone is on the charger, but it always comes down to, you know, nothing's ever easy. So I can only do certain camera angles, but basically what I got going on is I went ahead and I cleaned up all the spots here, and make sure you can see that on the camera. Yeah, I took the grinder and I took the paint off, and I took this down to bare metal all the way around both sides and across the top in all of the spaces where I'm going to be putting my legs, and I'm just going to tack them in place. Make sure that it's set, it's level, everything's good to go. I've got my ground on, and I'm no welder. Just gonna tack this on. Because this is such light steel, I have to have the welder set very low or I'll blow a hole right in this thing. But now we're set, and I can clean that up after. And it doesn't take much to hold these things. It really doesn't. Even on the bed, you see that they just have sort of a tack on each side. Now, this was a little bit lightweight for my fat body at, 230 pounds. But as a bike rack, where I'm only ever going to put maybe 40 pounds on here, it's a joke to go any worse, any harder. I don't have to weld a lot. That's more than I needed. And I'll go ahead and clean that up with the grinder. But let me go ahead and put the other 4 legs on, and I'll bring you back. Well, more good news. I am out of welding wire. It's always something when you're in the middle of a project, and it's 20 bucks for a roll, and I simply don't have $20. The rent got paid this morning, and I have $4 left to my name. So for those of you that think it's expensive to do things, or that money's great, it's not right now. And last week I made 1,200 bucks. So that just tells you that you got to keep hustling and grinding. So far I have 2 tacked on. Okay, not the top ring. The top ring's not tacked on yet. I ran out when I was attempting to put leg 3 and leg 4 on, but I wanted you to see so far what it's going to look like. And again, this is going to be the front. There's going to be arms come off the front to attach to the bike, and then there's going to be legs that come off and go down and attach to the bike. And I prefer it to be round, to have rounded corners, but you got to work with what you got to work with. And when I'm finished and this is all painted and installed and welded, it's going to look professional. And it cost me a used bed frame and apparently about 20 bucks in welding wire, because I got to go buy another roll for my cheap welder. So this is going to have to be put into 2 parts. I work with my phone. I don't own a computer. I do, but it's so old it doesn't matter. I can't use it. So this video is going to have to be punched into 2 parts so that I can edit the clips I have and get them off my phone so that I can do other videos. And maybe in a week or 2, when I have 20 bucks, I will buy the welding wire and get back to this project. So sometime for you in the next couple of weeks, you will be getting another half to this video where I will finish this rack and put it on that bike. Until then, thanks for stopping by. Hit the subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up. It's somewhere between my chin and my balls. And we'll see you on the next video.